Show them. Give us a second to double check the stream. Did you check?
All right. Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto
YAHAWASHI.
Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to the 144,000, the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathen, the Israelite foreigners, right? And to these brothers that are doing this work, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, right? And you few aqua that are actually listening. As you see the title, it's The Deception is No Longer Working. This is Luke 12:2, and it reads, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be made known." And I'm going to jump over to Luke 8:17, and it reads, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." So you can't, all these plans and all this wickedness that Esau has been planning, that spirit of Psalm 68:4, somebody can grab it, or 64:8. There's, a lot of the information that we use to expose Esau, he has to be, that's part of prophecies, that he has to be exposed in the last day, that the man of wickedness will be revealed. Somebody can grab that. But the majority of the information that we use to do it outside of the Bible is coming from other Edomites. All right? It's coming from other Edomites. I mean, the internet, the social media is from Facebook to YouTube to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. They're littered with people exposing deep, dark historical truths and secrets that have been covered up and hid about different events. Disgruntled employees that used to work for the government that are just releasing secrets. I mean, it's so much. It's hard to keep up with. But I want to read something. YAHAWASHI didn't delete it. Usually after I use stuff, I delete it. Let's see, did I keep it? Kind of, I kept it. But Esau is with his white superiority, this false concept, this social construct for what they call white superiority. He's lied about everything. All right, in all his historical events, he's lied about. Matter of fact, I got a video that I'm gonna put in and I'm gonna send you, and like the 5-minute mark, the 17-minute mark, and the end. Just bits and pieces of it. But Edomite exposing truths about 9/11. And it's not looking good, which we knew it was all bullshit anyway. But nevertheless, Esau, claimed that they're the fathers of civilizations and the Greek this and the Greek that. Look, the Greeks were not white people, first of all. And the Greeks then all the Greeks did was rob and steal everybody else's cultures and use what had already been done by the other nations. And I'm going to prove it with this information, this revelation right here. This is and this is coming out of Australia. It says in the education, it says 3,700-year-old Babylonian stone tablet gets translated, changes history. And Babylon is what, modern day Iraq?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what just happened in Iraq these last couple years, these last 20 years? Nothing but wars and destruction, and the taking of all these, and we seen the images of Al Qaeda, which the guy talks about in the video, which is a fraud. All right. That was a damn CIA, COINTELPRO type group, destroying all these museums. And I found it strange when I watched those videos, when I saw these Arabs, going to these museums, destroying artifacts. And then it dawned on me, they're destroying these artifacts because they depict the people in the land. And the people of the land were actually, a Negroid type people. They were all dark. They were all dark flesh. A lot of them had woolly hair. A lot of them had thick lips. All right? Yeah, some of them were Hamites. Some of them were Ishmaelites. But that was the look that but most people had in that part of the world prior to Alexander and the Edomites conquering it. All right. So that it would only make sense why they would go. Someone could probably find some of those videos too of Al Qaeda destroying those, museums and stuff. You see them destroying artifacts. But it says 3,700-year-old Babylonian stone tablet gets translated, changes history. They were doing trigonometry 1,500 years before the Greeks. All right. Dr. Daniel Mansfield, all right, that's a ish name, and his team at the Psalm 64:8, and his team at the University of New South Wales in Australia have just made an incredible discovery, right? And it's not they've known this, all right. Now the evidence and the relics are proving it. The Lord hid things in the earth that are coming forth is exposing these bastards. But it says, while studying a 3,700-year-old tablet from ancient civilization of Babylon, they found evidence that the Babylonians were doing something astounding: trigonometry. Most historians have credited the Greeks with creating the study of triangles, sides, and angles, but this tablet presents indisputable evidence that the Babylonians were using the technique 1,500 years before the Greeks ever were. All right?
And if you really want to go into it, Abraham taught the Egyptians before even Joseph went over there and taught the Egyptians. We had for them to build the pyramids.
They're triangular shape, are they not?
That information has been way before even Babylon.
So that makes it clear that the Israelites, way before Babylon, had knowledge of the use of triangles and angles and measurements.
And everywhere we've been, from ancient Egypt to over to Europe to the Americas, everywhere the footprint of a Negro, Latino, Native American, we had built pyramids. So that's bullshit.
It was a Jake that held the foundation of the city back that go there.
That's why Scripture talks about how he boasts that he said, "I've robbed their treasures like a valiant man," because you had what was called the Alexandria Library, which is basically everything, because all the people that
it was in Egypt.
Yeah, in Egypt, and all the shit that they looted from all these other nations that they conquered, especially us, it all was stored there. So they were just stealing shit, man. And the scripture says, "The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy."
Con, brother, and I always say that the museums are evidence of thievery. It's the evidence, and how the scripture says, "Let it be, evidence against you." Roughly paraphrase.
Yeah.
Museums are evidence of that, of them rape, robbing, murdering, and taking other people's shit.
So I got this pulled up. There's a spirit that I was saying I was already grabbing it. This the works of Flavius Josephus,
I was thinking it.
Antiquities of the Jews, book 1, chapter 8. I'm gonna jump down to the point. It's in the second, paragraph. I'm gonna get to the point. I'm gonna start the top of 2. For whereas the Egyptians were formerly addicted to different customs and despised one another's sacred and accustomed rites, and were very angry one another on that account, Abram conferred with each of them and confuted the reasons they made use of, everyone for their own practices, demonstrated that such reasonings were vain and void of truth, whereupon he was admired by them in those conferences as a very wise man, and one of great sagacity when he discoursed on any subject he undertook, and this not only in understanding it, but in persuading other men also to assent to him. So he not only did he have wisdom, he can convince the next man that this is right. He can actually teach you. All right. He communicated to them arithmetic and delivered to them the science of astronomy. For before Abram came into Egypt, they were unacquainted with those parts of learning. For that science came from the Chaldeans into Egypt, and from thence to the Greeks also.
So there you go.
Yeah, because wisdom, wisdom comes from the East. Now we know that King Solomon, of course, was the wisest man. Trying to find another precept. King Solomon was the wisest man, but as far as wisdom goes, it's known to come from the East. Today they say the Orientals are so wise they got this. It's a phrase. They always talk about Confucius and shit like that. But Oriental means East.
East.
So not just talking about some Chinese, but that's bullshit. All right.
And for the record, from Russia, China, Japan, India, Nepal, Yemen, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Turkey. That's all Asia. That's all Asia, and that's all the East. As a matter of fact, Turkey, Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, that's Western Asia, not the Middle East.
I got it. Real quick, man. It's 1 Kings
4 and 30.
Damn, my brother. I ain't even hear what I called for. It's very upset.
You can read it though.
This 1 Kings 4 and 29, and the Most High gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much in largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. So before the Babylonians, we already had King Solomon, man. All right, Esau, you just a piece of shit. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the East country and all the wisdom of Egypt. All right, so that it was known that the wisdom was in the East and in Egypt. And where did Egypt get their wisdom from? Abraham, Joseph. All right, these men in the East, they had it because, you know, that's where knowledge started in the garden. Then we got spread out, you know, in the East. And ultimately, like I said, the Chaldees, which is the line that Abraham comes from, man. That's where this wisdom is at, man. Then you get fast forward after Abraham to Deuteronomy the 4th chapter. Wisdom is in the scriptures. This is what wisdom is at, man. Let's talk about some Esau like to take credit for everything. They tell you about these aqueducts and shit. All right, America came and fixed up the savages. Well, Mexico, they had some of the best aqueducts. They didn't get it from Rome either. Right. Then they said America came and brought this shit. Then they tell you what the aqueduct started great in Rome.
See, if you go back,
Which is a complete lie.
Well, they had hanging gardens.
As a matter of fact, the Iskarites, their kingdom extended all the way up into North America, all the way up into Montana. And they had clean streets and aqueducts and plumbing, even indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
So none of that shit, and guess what? They were never in captivity in Rome. It's the same as the the northern kingdom. I mean the southern kingdom was never in the Assyrian captivity. All right. So to try and say that they learned that in Rome is a complete fabrication. It's a law. You know, Esau is very disingenuous with his information. I sent you a video.
On TikTok?
It's a YouTube video, but I sent it to both of you. No, I didn't know which phone you had. So.
and speaking of, you talk the Incas in Peru, they had the same thing as well. And Peru had from roads to aqueducts and they had plumbing and so forth over there in Peru. And so if you can't Esau Edom, they'll let them tell it that they're the father of all that. No, that was already known information. You can go back to Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, and he had the aqueducts and so forth that we were going back over to ancient Israel. So the narrative of Esau Edom is bullshit.
Yeah, when they conquered the Moors, what did they do? They outlawed the bathhouses, man. Those because those all those castles, they had bathhouses, man. And Jake started that, man. You know, and those castles were so well built, they
still stand today.
They had
all
heated
Florence.
floors. They had heated floors back over there in the so-called Dark Ages. They had heated underneath the wood floors.
And guess what? Those same castles were all throughout Africa, all throughout Negro land anyway.
Yes.
They had them castles. As a matter of fact, when the Southern Kingdom was sold into slavery, they was sold out of what was it, Fort Benin?
Benin, yeah.
But anyway, that fort is a castle. It's built like a damn castle. That was, come on, man. These castles were all throughout Africa and North Africa. But then, you let Esau tell it, he'll just say that these people were living in huts.
Oh, there was ook and the book in there.
Right.
You know?
I got a quick one.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 14. It says, learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding, that thou mayest know also where is length of days and life, where is the light of eyes and peace. Who have found out her place, or who have come into her treasures? Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as ruled the beast upon the earth? They that had their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they that hoarded up silver and gold, wherein men trust, and made no end of their getting. For they that have wrought silver and were so careful, and whose works were unsearchable, they are vanished and gone down to the grave, and others are come up in their steads. So I'm gonna jump down to verse 35. It says, "This is our power, and there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and hath given it to Jacob his servant, and to Israel his
He
beloved."
said some of the way of knowledge.
He hath found out all the way of knowledge.
See, that's the reason why you go back into the inventors of every major technological advance. You talk about the motor. When you say the motor, you talk about planes, trains, and automobiles. You talk about the refrigerator. You talk about the oven. You talk about the washing machine. You talk about the cell phone. The filaments, the light bulb. Every major technological advance, the stoplight, is made by the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, man. All right.
Hey, but
Jacob of all trades.
right, and then
Jacob of all trades, that's right.
exactly, and then ultimately the wisdom of righteousness. All right, the wisdom of immortality, because that's what Baruch is going into. He said, "Hey, where is wisdom? Where is strength? If you find out the source, then you're gonna find out the source of length of days, life, immortality." And it says, "Hey, where is these heathen? That did all this, did all that. Well, they dead." You know what I'm saying?
And proving what you, even more so with what, just landbacking off what your writer said and what you said collectively, that this wisdom was the Lord gave it to Israel, and Israel gave it to the world.
Exactly.
Because they always marvel at how the dimensions and the measurements of the pyramids here in the Americas were of the same dimensions of the ones over there, which also meant that they also had the knowledge of angles, geometry, trigonometry,
Exactly.
and all and all that. And they were the same. They were of the same measurements, proving that they were the same people. All right, and that they actually came from the east, and not the east by way of the Bering Strait, but the east by way of the sea. All right.
And this wisdom, like the scripture says, we, the Israelites, we have this wisdom in earthen vessels right now. So we have what the scriptures call the earnest of the Spirit. You see? And so we're ultimately going to get the full download of the wisdom of righteousness for immortality. But right now, we have it in measure. You see? But yet, and still, that wisdom is given to us, the Israelites.
Bible, I got two for you.
Yeah.
This wisdom of Solomon 24:1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. I'm going to jump down. So we're talking about wisdom, right? Verse 8. So the creator of all things gave me a commandment. He that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel. So this is wisdom, and this is every form of wisdom.
Right.
All right, that comes from the Most High, which goes into, and look, it goes into everything from fashion design to woodwork, gold work, and the proof of it is the law. In the law, when the Lord gave the order to the priests, to Moses and Aaron, how the priest garments would be, how the temple would be built, he gave specification. He said, go get you these men upon whom the spirit of wisdom is on to do these things. So they had the wisdom for the needlework. It said to do the gold. And look, the Lord said the priest garments was for beauty and glory. It was meant to look raw.
Yeah.
That's the wisdom that's the wisdom, because it said he put wisdom to do this.
Yeah.
That's what Israel. Hey, look, architect, King Solomon, motherfuckers to this day, when you get a crib, the fancier your crib is, the more spiral your stairs are. Hey, look, that staircases in Kings. King Solomon built that building up, his house, the tabernacle, and he put spiral stairs in there, man. All right?
Hey,
that's architect right there.
Yeah, and this is all with just a measure of the wisdom that the Most High has given us. We ain't even got the full download yet to ultimately where it says, hey, you gonna reign forevermore. You're gonna rule for eternity with this wisdom right here.
That's right.
You see? Because all other nations, they rule just for a time. You see, we're gonna have the wisdom that you're gonna rule forevermore. And it says the government of approved man is well ordered, man.
Right.
And it's the upholding of the people, the welfare of the world.
Hey,
God.
that scripture that you read, St. Benji, it reminded me of the X-Men Apocalypse, because the Apocalypse, when he came on the scene, if you watch that movie, the powers that the mutants already had, he was able to turn it all the way up. That's how he was able to make Magneto when he had ripped all that stuff out the ground, out the earth, if you watch that movie, man. So, you know, that reminds me of that scene, man. You know?
This another point, if I go back to that Sirach, 2 Chronicles 26:15. And he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to be on the towers and upon the boards, to shoot arrows and great stones withal, and his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. So it talks about engines. It's not talking about a car engine, but it's talking about a machine built to do what it just told you. And all the machines, a lot of machines and shit like that is just a wheel pulley systems. All right, it's all started from simple inventions like this. All right, you got two wheels connecting two gears, rolling a pulley, all that shit to do is work. That's right here in the scriptures, man. And this is Jameson Fawcett Brown Bible commentary on that verse. And it says he made engines invented by cunning men to shoot arrows and great stones. This is the first notice that occurs in history of the use of machines for throwing projectiles. So this
Catapult.
Yeah, it goes back to the word they got catapulta, but then it said ballista. So you got ballistics and catapults.
Right.
Because catapults is for the rocks that it mentioned. Right. Then you got the ballista for the arrows.
Yeah.
The point is, Israel was the first to use machines to shoot shit at you, man.
All right. So the Romans got it from them.
Yeah.
The opening scene of the movie Gladiator, which is a great movie, by the way. The Red Dragon, the Edomites, the Roman soldiers were using ballistas on the Germans. You know, they were shooting them gigantic arrows with fire on them.
And it's funny, I was going to pull the scripture up.
Pull that video back up, I'll push up.
Which,
The one that when you had your fumble. There you go.
this one right here?
Yeah, because we gotta play about the 5th minute, like the 18th minute, and then like the 42nd minute. You know. But go ahead, bring what you have something to say. Bet you bring it out.
I made the point. You know.
Okay.
All right, well, I got a scripture, like I said, about what you were saying about Solomon and the whole deal and that wisdom. Going back to that First Kings as well, it was like 3 and 12. This is him saying, "Behold, I have done." This is the Lord speaking to Solomon. "Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee." So all that wisdom, like I said, Solomon understood all that, and then some. And like you said, it was passed on down to Israel as it is. And now, like I said, we the ones that invent, as they say, the salt of the earth. We the ones that invent all this stuff and whatnot. And what did the Edomite invent? The motherfucking patent office to steal the shit.
That's very good analogy, brother. Because I did a video responding to this earlier, and a brother put a comment on there because I talked about how GPS was discovered by a so-called Negro woman, right? And then it turns out that the Earth from the ground to surface to air missile system was created by a so-called black man. Mm-hmm. You put those things together, and you got a missile that can track your ass down.
Dang.
All right. So, and GPS is used every day. So the truth of the matter is that Esau will these red superiors, these Edomites, these red people that call themselves white, they constantly getting on videos and ranting saying that that the so-called Negroes, they gave nothing to society. They just a burden on society when that whole society is basically functioning because of the contributions made by your former slaves. All right, for just your simple comforts, air conditioning to heating, refrigeration and stoves, and washing machines.
America being at the top of the world trade is because of slavery. Because you use the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, all right, to pick what was popular trade back then, whether it was rice, sugar, tobacco, cotton. Then it switched to textiles, you got to hear the game because you had us
Yeah.
working for free.
Exactly.
Then you open your factories and you got cheap labor from us.
And then you use the ingenuity and that creative blessing, because Jacob is the salt of the earth, and then when they created everything, you put your name on it. It's a very known fact. There's a video, a cartoon video, where the teacher keeps asking the little kids about the light bulb, and all the little white kids scream Edison, and then she corrects them and say no, it was a black man named Latimer. All right. So the point being is that Esau Edom is just a liar, man, and they're losing control over the narrative. And I did a lesson on that, and I found out today that the word narrative means a controlled falsehood.
Perfect.
A story. Then I looked up the words a story, all right, and it pretty much the same. The story is the fraud that's told about history. That's literally what about facts or about historical facts or the lack thereof. So they completely control the narrative. When you say, oh, well, this is the official narrative, they're telling you right there that this is a fabrication, this is a fraud, this is a lie. This is what we're saying what it is. It doesn't mean that that's what it is.
That's funny because
I was like, God damn.
Well, yeah.
So they tell you, and then I looked up Forger, and guess what Forger led you to? Narrative and story.
Yep, doctor.
Yeah, it's
It led you to the narrative and to the story. Also, they truly are the forgers of lies.
just like today. Everybody give Henry Ford praise. Oh, he came with the assembly line.
He did.
And they assembly line, and he was the first motherfucker to really get the car shit going at a good pace.
That's a
Which
lie.
was a Jake that made the assembly line.
That's right.
And one of the first car companies was also made by ex-slave man.
And yeah,
That's right.
And they destroyed that just like they destroyed all the black
They
towns.
never talk about it.
And all the homesteads where so-called Negroes were flourishing amongst their enemies in their own land, and they got angry and destroyed. And so and look at this. The brother just put it on the screen, man. I mean, just the simple everyday things that were made in America, that made America great.
That's right.
Yeah.
America would not have been great without the presence of the so-called and these same people that were inventors. They also had their own neighborhoods, their own towns, etc., etc. And through racial hatred, anger, and jealousy, you went around burning them all down, and then you wrote those right out the history book, controlling the narrative, controlling the story, forging the lies.
To this day, they think the Wright brothers were the ones that started the flight.
I'm sure
But
they did.
if you go do your research, they go back to Brazil. It was some niggas in Brazil who started off with that, and then they'll say that even the blueprint before then was going back over to Europe, and just the niggas that was over there in Europe off of Da Vinci and the flight plans back then. So the narrative of Esau Edom is being exposed, man. Like you said, the deceit is being exposed. Just this list right here alone: paper, chess, the alphabet, medicine, civilization, airplane propelling, biscuit cutter, folding bed, coin changer, rotary engine, car coupler, letterbox, stainless steel pads, torpedo discharger, disposable syringe, home security system, corn blender, cotton blender, ironing board, street sweeper, horse bridle bit, horseshoe, lawn mower, typewriter. You can't, the list goes on and on and on.
Look, that next column over at the top, automatic gear shift. You wouldn't have cars shifting gears like this.
Jay Gregory,
Your
the
race,
motor.
they love the NASCAR.
Right.
Right, but you got the motor was invented by a nigga called Jay Gregory.
Right.
Right, he made the motor.
And then another nigga made it better by creating an automatic gear shift.
That's right.
There's no way around this, man.
Can I back you up real quick?
Absolutely, brother.
This is Exodus 1:9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there fall out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us and set them up out of the land and get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. So it's the same thing, man. Now, man, a kingdom cannot be great without the Israelites there, man. And you know, and we're talking about, you know, the things that Jake has created, which basically runs the entire country, you know, the whole planet and this country, but also it's Jake that's still maintaining it to this very day. You know, they had a movie called A Day Without a Mexican, man. Okay? All right, and in that movie, man, you see that, man, all these Edomites was panicking, man.
Yeah, the hospitality industry was completely shut down.
Yeah, the aliens took the Mexicans, man. The aliens came, took the Mexicans in the movie.
So you got two movies. You got one depicted the Negroes got taken, and now the Mexicans got taken.
Yes.
Those are the chariots. The chariots are coming back for the Israelites, man.
Yeah.
So the hell what you talking about? Could you put that video up? And we're gonna play a few minutes of it. Start at about the 5-minute mark. Yeah.
Mexicans made some.
Then you're gonna jump to like the 18-minute mark.
Toilet.
Then you're gonna jump to the 43rd minute.
We in there too.
So you want to start at the beginning, right?
Start at the 5-minute mark, not the beginning.
Start at the beginning.
Birth control. That's us Mexicans. Birth control, color TV, toilet, 1790. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
America too, but we Mexicans was fucking holding on. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone from Mexico had no movie snacks, no
The
chocolate.
taco, the taco, the put
We're very suspicious of what happened, in some cases even questioning whether the certificates they had obtained were real. So, and then finally, you know, they could not have accomplished, these alleged hijackers just could not have accomplished most of what needs to be explained. On 9/11, for about 2 hours, our air defenses failed. And for 2 hours, our chain of command failed within the military. And as we know, from a previous guest that you had on, Ted Walter from our organization, the World Trade Center buildings were demolished. And these 19 young men were just not in a position to pull off all of these crimes. So, you know, that's really the problem. The official accounts are false. And the accused men were not really capable, despite being not who they were portrayed to be, but just not really capable of accomplishing what was said to be accomplished that day.
Okay, Paul.
So what was said to be accomplished.
Oh, you can go right to the 18-minute mark. So basically, he just said it was all false. They couldn't have done it, and they were not the people that they were made out to be, because the media sensationalized the story, saying that they were, you know, drunks and hanging out with strippers and all, trying to paint them with pictures of just some bad guy playboys, whatever, not giving a fuck. And that's but then at the same time said that they were strong Muslim fundamentalists and basically the things that they were being accused of, Muslims don't do.
That's right.
All right, so maybe them Fruit of Islam cats do it.
All
right.
Yeah, they do.
But
My brother.
but them true, you know, beard wearing, you know, turban wearing,
The Sunnis and the Shiites.
they don't drink, they don't do the shit that these guys were doing,
No,
snorting
no,
coke
wrong.
and playing with hoes and all
Wait,
that. They just don't do it collectively. It's not part of their culture. They're against that. The way that they look at that as infidel Edomite behavior. All right, and so they're really against that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's haram. It's unclean.
All right, so there it is, man. So let's go. So you know, and he pointed all those facts out. You might want to watch this video, man. This is a very good, informative video. But go ahead, play.
Ashcraft wouldn't return any of his calls, and he was obviously within Republican circles a pretty well-known guy. He prosecuted Clinton. So anyway, there was clearly knowledge throughout the FBI that something was going to happen, and pretty precise details as well. So, but these young men, they were protected, and that was what we saw throughout the country with these other alleged hijackers. They were clearly
Protected by somebody. So you believe protected by the CIA, protected by the deep state, to carry out perhaps a large, massive false flag attack, arguably the largest false flag attack in world history. Is that really at the heart of all of this? This was a massive false flag operation using these men as sort of patsies, cover story for the United States to carry out these attacks?
That's what it looks like. Yeah, it definitely looks like that. These young men were the backstory, and Al Qaeda itself.
Yeah, because he like that. So Psalm 64 and 8, Bible Kashab.
I got
And
it.
so the Lord put a spirit on him to do this. And the guy even asked him, are you worried about your life? Are you, you know? And he's putting a book together called The Other 19, which he speaks about at the end. It's going into details of all the actual research that actually where the math actually matches up, where 1 + 1 is actually 2. And the whole thing, which is 9/11, because you know 9/11 is in the history books, and they're teaching this to children, and they're teaching them this controlled narrative fraud, all right, which the whole world can see, including a lot of Americans.
That's right.
And the average Edomite American, well, you know, when you expose the truth to them, they're getting to that. It just doesn't matter.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. They get into that whole spirit, man, when they're exposed, all right, because they don't want to be seen as the bad guy. And the problem is the world is beginning to see that the so-called white man is the actual problem in the world. People, the whole world is beginning to see that and acknowledge that. You got it?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Right.
All that see them shall flee away.
Yeah. So, you know, it wasn't an Israelite that did this study and came up with all this research. All right? We'll go ahead and play some more, Brother Shot. Any brother
Who's really responsible for the 9/11 attacks? Does the story that we've been sold stack up? Does it hold up when you put it under a microscope? All
training at these flight schools around the country, and their leadership, Louis Freeh and George Tenet specifically, and how these men had really facilitated and covered up terrorism in the years before 9/11. And so, yeah, the backstory was the alleged hijackers training at these flight schools around the country. You know, the only evidence of them boarding one of the flights is a video from Dulles Airport related to Flight 77. There were no other closed-circuit TV videos available of the other hijackers. But there is that.
This is a complete control narrative. They showed you footage that they wanted you to show. And then they didn't even show you everything. They showed you a clip, and then they created a story behind it.
Right, and why is it that these passports survived all this fucking
Fire.
jet fuel?
Everything
That
got turned to
metal.
powder. So,
But
you
their
know,
passports.
so we know that we should make our body armor and everything else out of passport
Yeah,
paper.
passport, bro.
Clearly,
Fucking true.
clearly, passport paper's indestructible.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, I don't need a bulletproof vest. Just give me some passport paper.
Give me 2 passports, says the fuck.
The same thing with the
That
Pentagon
evident.
too. The printer had the paper still in it, like right next to the where it blew up at. The printer had paper right there still. Just
Well,
shit.
Edomite is sitting on
Big
the
ass
printer.
plane
scanning
supposedly
his
hit
ass.
it, and there was no impact for the wings. You had 2 big ass engines on the wings, but it was just that one hole in the middle. Yeah.
Having so many holes in their story let you know that Jake, Esau, the heathens that's over here in America are
Just
the most
stupid.
dumbest,
Stupid as
stupidest,
hell.
retardedest.
Stupid.
That's why Esau even call you sheeple, because you all have no understanding. And then they push the narrative that the people rule. People rule. Y'all the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet, and y'all want to rule?
Yeah, so that should let you know what then Americans are fucked up. If you're ruling, all right, because you keep putting people like Biden in office, so you believe. But go ahead and click to the 43rd minute. Mark your shots.
I got a scripture. How you put it down?
Maybe you can start at the 42nd. I don't want to miss it. Get your scripture before you start.
Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 10 and 12. The words of a wise man are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself.
It says in Psalms, there's one that says,
Is that 12? Ecclesiastes?
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 10 and 12.
in Psalm, there's one that says, divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the land. So the Lord's dividing this dude's tongue, man. You know?
All right, man.
Yeah.
Time for him.
Divide him.
I also have a blog called digwithin.net, at digwithin.net, and where I've got a lot of different articles related to 9/11 research. And of course, the Journal of 9/11 Studies, which is also at the International Center for 9/11 Justice, where I've been the editor for 17 years. So We have a lot of peer-reviewed research that's going to be useful ultimately for any justice that we might be able to bring about regarding the 9/11 crimes.
Has anyone told you to back off this story?
Well, that's not exactly how things work from what I've seen. What happens is that anyone can be can call themselves a member of the 9/11 Truth Movement. And so infiltration of the 9/11 Truth Movement is the go-to method rather than threats and murder. And you probably know about COINTELPRO back in the 70s against the Black Rights Movement, peace movement. Those same things happened, in the peace actions related to Iraq and Afghanistan, and they were infiltrators that would come in, and they would say things and do things that would make everybody look a little bit crazy and therefore deter attention away from the questioning. And I think
There
that's
it is.
really
Stop
what,
right there. I don't know if you brothers were paying attention. That was heavy as fuck. Right?
Absolutely.
Because in my opinion, that's IUIC and ISUPK. Clearly. All right. They have been used to distract away from the question, from the spiritual questions, the historical, biblical questions that we actually often answer. We often ask and talk about. And you got these groups, so you got especially IUIC with their Hollywood quality videos, because Esau is behind them.
They were both on Vice.
Exactly. And they right. And then we're the men of the Lord. There's no other camp like. Really? You shit.
500-man march, all that, because IUIC got that publicity, and then ISUPK got the meeting at the gun range publicity.
And so, and they fit. Matter of fact, take it back, because I don't think brothers want locked in. Take it back to what he said, and really listen to what he just said right here. Right there. That's good. That's good.
anyone can be can call themselves a member of the 9/11 Truth Movement.
Anyone can say they're a Hebrew Israelite. All right, let them go.
And so infiltration of the 9/11 Truth Movement is the go-to method rather than threats and murder.
Stop. So instead of shooting and killing us, they create these
infiltration,
these camps that come with these crazy ass messages, and all of a sudden everybody's changing the doctrine and the breakdowns. Go.
Probably know about COINTELPRO back in the 70s against the Black Rights Movement, peace movement. Those same things happened, in the peace actions related to Iraq and Afghanistan, and they were infiltrators that would come in, and they would say things and do things that would make everybody look a little bit crazy and therefore deter attention.
And deter attention from the true message and what we're really about. Because you got ISUPK with their we're gonna shoot our way to the kingdom.
IUIC was the law,
and Jesus.
Right.
Christ bless.
All right, and then at the same time, now they're starting to disassociate themselves from being Hebrews at all.
Now you got, I'm throw this out there too.
Speak good, name in your mouth.
The new shit was Sakari.
Yeah,
and vocab.
And they got hats on all the time.
If it was vocab inbox, when I saw the video, and it was the inbox, I believe it was vocab and Sakari. Whoever it was, they talking about some debating Paul. He's saying Paul ain't valid. They saying Paul ain't valid. Yeah, but it's the way they said it now is like he just ain't valid.
You're right.
He kind of said he contradicted himself.
We gotta throw Sakari in there too, man.
And
I've been saying that about Al-Azhar, man. So look,
Hey, I took the load for so long. I ain't taking the load no more.
And I promise you, man, the real men of the Lord, we stayed up.
God knows, I'm cross down.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Most High is the Most High is not done exposing the wicked. All right? Your wicked ass groups, the Lord says the judgment must begin at the house of Israel. And the house of Israel starts with anybody who's claiming. What does it say?
So look, man,
the men of the
circumcision.
Look, the men that acknowledge that the apostles and elders of the great millstone, all right, are the true leaders of all Israel on earth. Those are the men of the Lord, man.
Period.
And those other few groups out there that follow that, man. The men of valor, the sons of Yasharala out in Colorado, and a few other groups, man, that follow the teachings of of the follow the tutelage of Apostle El Tahar and the apostles of the Great Millstones. All these other guys, they all on some other stuff. They all 501c3 chartered,
Suspect until further notice.
Exactly. The what do you call it? I call them the merchandise Israelites.
Yeah.
The guy, the
Merchandise.
T-shirt selling, hat selling,
Starter kit.
starter kit,
That's all came
jacket wearing,
DVDs.
jacket selling.
Starter
Those guys that do that, they focus on merchandising. They're not focusing on the message, and they're here to make money. Yeah, they're focusing on the sisters.
Here's the head
You
right.
gotta build.
And the sister started.
Black
You
blood.
gotta learn how to be a proper wife, right? Or a proper. Well, at least ISUPK acknowledge you can have multiple wives.
Bring it out.
That's scriptural. IUIC is went straight, Christianity. And
Well, I'm thinking about this. What's that one nigga? What's his second man? Shikari's second hand man.
The deacon.
Deacon. That's that. Go ahead, my man.
That nigga, man.
Hey, Sam.
That nigga always got that hat talking about some black love, man. Where's black love in the Bible?
Oh, they had a sit down. I seen they had a fucking podcast style sit down on that. Look, them niggas are through, bro.
Man, it's
All the people
They
against
do,
you,
man.
YAHAWASHI,
Some
and the
black
correct
love
doctrine
sit-downs,
is
man.
going to be exposed, man.
and they're gonna fail same way, tribe would fail,
Right.
went under. Tribe to fail, the same thing that happened to them. Eventually, that's going to happen to Sakari, and it's going to happen to IUIC. They're going to start infighting over money and all that stuff, and then the Lord's going to break all that up, man.
That's right, brother.
And you're going to see who the true men of the Lord
I
are.
found the clip I was talking about. So this vocab speaking, I don't know who the conversation.
Put it in.
I don't know who the it's on my phone.
Oh, kind.
It's a minute clip. I don't think you upload minute to your group.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
A minute goes or is it 30 seconds?
No, I think a minute ago.
59 seconds? Alright, let me see. A minute ago? I'm gonna find out right now.
You got a scripture while you doing it? Bring it out.
Revelation 2:2. I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars.
Hey, what it says, then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh by Shem Yahushai and him that serveth them not.
That's right.
But the Lord has to give you eyesight to that because, hey, those of you that are following, I call that nigga Henry Kane. I don't know if anybody ever seen the movie Poltergeist, man. We had this nigga named Henry Kane who just led all these people. He was a pastor.
Oh, that's part 2.
Yeah, he led all those, Poltergeist 2. He led all those people into that hole and shit, and then closed the fucking hole in it.
Yeah.
They all died in that bitch. Well, that's where the Lord wanted you at, man. He wanted you right. It's what it says. If the blind lead the blind,
They both fall into a
both
ditch.
shall fall into a ditch, man.
I got go ahead, Matas.
This is Acts 5 and
That's the council or not? This council,
Yep.
if it's a man, go ahead.
This Acts
Go
5.
ahead. That's the spirit.
I'm gonna start at 36. For before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 100, joined themselves, who was slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to hedges.
Right. That was them. That's right, niggas.
Con.
That's right. Niggas fall off a cliff saying, hey, he's gonna fall off a cliff. They say, that's right.
That's right.
Niggas fall off and smash the rocks and shit.
That wild ass 90 sound.
All falling off a cliff, man.
Yeah, it's gonna get judged, man. It's coming, man. Yep.
Rala told me that your man Chase Blunts is dreaded up, just completely, totally gone, man.
He threw it.
And Nazariah erased him. All his YouTube shit, everything he had on YouTube is gone.
Yep.
He just ran back into the world, man.
Yep.
Right? Because he and that dude Nazariah wanted to be Sakari, man. He wanted to be him so bad.
Man, he wouldn't be
Right.
born in him, yeah.
He talked shit about him, but all the time he was secretly envying him, wanted to be like him. Yeah.
Yep, Con. Verse 37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the Texan and drew as away much people after him. He also perished. And all, even as many as obeyed him, were
He also died.
That
fine.
too.
And they all because you cannot.
Go ahead and read the next verse, bro.
Con. Verse 38, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For this counsel, if this work be of men, it will come to naught.
There it is, man. So just like, tried and failed, it did exactly that. The same thing's gonna happen to IUIC and ISUPK.
That's right.
All right, the Lord and them men have been so wicked, man. The Lord is probably gonna make public examples out of them.
Probably.
Probably.
That's the same thing he did out of IJGJC, whatever, Comfy and them crew.
Yeah, it's gonna
The Lord
happen.
made a spectacle out of them. He made a spectacle. Matter of fact, the Lord's been making a spectacle out of these false ass camps already. The whole fighting between ISUPK and IUIC, the whole in WWF battle
The Shalom bomb, he had to do the move, bro. It ain't the power.
Somebody had to use it in real life.
Right,
Huh?
so it was the Legion of Doom camp versus the Power Rangers camp.
I mean, what the?
I can't wait to roll. I'm getting one of you niggas that Shalom.
Hey, this is some same coordination that I'll be ram niggas, man. Who got what said they got destroyed in front of witnesses. Coordination in the Abu Ram. It says and they had a ground opened up and ate their ass, man.
Well,
It said it happened like never before.
Yeah.
He let it be known that you niggas were so stupid and wicked. It happened. This death never happened to you.
Right. So in the book
The
of
Lord,
in the book
the
of
Lord really real. Why is it like that? It's real. Every time I read it, I think about that. Like this shit really embarrassing.
And meanwhile, I was watching a video this day of the Israelite foreigners in the Philippines, and they did a whole video where they were teaching on the name of YAHAWASHI, and that the name Jesus is a false name. And they even put in there that they literally did the breakdown where they showed it was earth pig. So you got Israelite foreigners teaching a more solid doctrine
That's right.
than IUIC.
That's right.
Con,
All right?
this is 2 Timothy 3:8. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses,
Come on now.
so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith, but they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men.
It shall what?
Shall be manifest unto all
It's
men.
going to be told to everybody. It's going to be made public.
Yep, as theirs also was. Yeah, they're going to put the public shame.
That's right.
And ultimately, when you look up Jannes and Jambres, it talks about potentially being some magicians that went against Moses. And the ultimate way that they put the shame was they shit failed. See, y'all talking about the mark of the beast is white women, all this.
Yeah, ISUPK cut that shit
all
out.
this other weird shit y'all saying. The y'all followers and the world that see y'all is gonna realize y'all are full of shit. Once this chip is put into place, and
They hungry,
and
they
they
can't
fuck,
do shit.
and they don't know no better. Now they gonna take the chip because you didn't warn them.
Right.
Now they're gonna have to get put to death because
Yeah,
of that.
know what?
and then a lot of them are gonna get sick. But was it Revelation 16?
I got it.
The Lord. So a lot of people are gonna take that mark, that charagma, and then they're gonna get sick and die as a result of it.
20 people already died in IUIC. 20 people after that jab came out. After that jab came out, 20 people in the IUIC already fucking died.
Find out that's what you saying that. Give me a source.
That blood on dude's hands. I got two quick.
Put that in the put that in the.
Well, we know they was taking it because
I'm sure they were taking it.
The
When you say something like that, you got to come with where it came from.
Oh, God, I ain't talking from that.
I'm just telling the brother.
Saying that Apostle Hart went into it. The
He
one
lost
brother
faith.
in New York works with like my UIC.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video.
He said he lost faith.
He
Yeah.
said he lost faith.
So
So he took it.
they not getting built up.
As soon as he took it.
He said he took it out. He said he felt no was with him no more.
Hey, I want to bring this out just to back down, just to back up what the elder brother Benji brought out about being publicly destroyed and being publicly made an example. This is Sirach 1 and verse 29. It says, "Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest." It said, "Exalt not thyself," because this is what Alazar and General Yohana and all those other clowns do. It says, "Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul, and so Yahweh discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation." So you're going to be made a public example. It says, "Because thou camest not in truth to the fear of Yahweh, but thy heart was full of deceit." So the Lord know you niggas ain't shit. This is Job 32 and verse 21. That's why as soon as a dude gets to talking about here, elder and this bishop, priest, how I look, I just cut the nigga off. This is Job 32 and 21. Let me not, I pray thee, accept any man's person, because that's what they're into. It says, neither let me give flattering titles unto man, for I know not to give flattering titles. In doing so, my maker will soon take me away.
Yes,
So I don't look at them niggas like nothing but fucking niggas, man. That's it. You just a nigga who wanted to make a name for yourself, and you gonna get your ass smashed by an elephant.
Because right now, and shit, I'm glad you used that analogy
Because I know they don't know it.
And right, it goes as a second magazine on the motherfuckers who tried to go make themselves a name. All right, and Eleazar, you know what I'm saying, which was
Went
actually
out like a G.
And what?
Hey, like somebody say that shit was, you know, it looked raw.
You know, hey, it was
That shit was
raw and splat.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
That shit did.
He was cold as hell for a minute.
He said it was slaying on the right and slaying on the left. That nigga was doing karate.
He had the Bruce Leroy glow for
I
a moment.
promise you, bro.
Because he had that glow.
He definitely went Super Saiyan.
Just for a moment.
I got that Revelation.
Go ahead, brother.
This is that Revelation 16, and it started 2 that you were saying about the thing. And the first went, okay, this is a vow. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men that had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
Pop, can I say this? With the chips that have been put in the animals, most of those animals that have that chip will develop a fucking cancerous sore. So this is that chip that Nate and them were laughing about that is gonna buy you land, that the pets that actually have that fucking implant.
Right.
So this is how much you gotta love Esau.
Yeah.
You gotta love Esau enough to trust him, then enough to fucking love your beast and not put him through cancer, man, because with that grievous sword is gonna come upon them that take that mark.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
But the indicator is that the animals that have taken
Already
this
taken
fucking
it.
chip
Yeah.
already fucking getting
They
that
said,
shit.
you know, because Esau was tagging up these animals since the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, like the late 70s, early 80s. Follow them in the wild, a lot of those animals died of cancerous issues and shit.
I can go get my, see now, I have 2 cats that got chipped, all right, before I bought them, they were already chipped. They get periodically sores on their back from the chip.
Shit.
And when I'm up
You
there
can feel
rubbing,
the bump.
when I rub them and you'll feel them under their skin. You'll see the bumps along the ridge of their back, and to this day they'll come, they'll go. But that's because Esau comes and goes with his frequencies. They're going to die. Those cats, they're going to, because they have chips in them, and those their frequencies out here affect those animals, man. And they're already. This is not even the new whatever.
Right.
Whatever the band they got right now with the microchip with the RFID chip, but the chips that they already got, they have nothing but they got sores on their back right now.
Right.
And then I can go grab the cat right now. We can go show you right now. And so that's you motherfuckers who take that damn chip. You are going to be killed by YAHAWASHI, and you're going to have sores. The Lord said, someone can grab the scripture. Say that says they're gonna get grievous sores.
He just read it.
That's the truth.
Read it again.
Okay.
I'm damn near gonna go grab one of the cats.
I
got it right.
May the Lord bless them cats, man.
And Lord gonna bless them. They gonna
Revelation,
die.
Revelation 16, 2.
See?
And the first vial, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
Read it again one more time, brother.
Okay.
They're gonna be through.
And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
Now I don't know if anybody's seen the the different pundits speaking on I don't know, October 4th or something. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
a signal being sent to all the phones.
Yeah, I saw.
But see, but that's part of how they do this shit. They'll send a signal out and hit all the fucking phones, whatever. But Esau, Edom, they deal with the 5G, 6G, whatever, and they're playing that realm. All right.
And see what kind of reactions they get.
Yeah, they just had a movie come out. What was it, like a year, maybe two ago, called Cellular, and they show you what they was planning to do. They send a signal to all those people, and it started at the airport, right?
It was wrong.
Yeah,
I
ain't seen the movie.
I remember that movie. Yeah, it's called Cell.
Not the one with J-Lo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the phone signal went out and people started dropping and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
foaming and shit, the mouth and all that, man.
Damn.
It's the same thing with the Kingsman, the one with Samuel.
Yeah.
With they're gonna send a signal and ping whatever the fuck.
Well, we did.
And
We did sit down on that, and it's that other where we were showing how certain magnets and things like that was having this shit that was in the stand up and all this other kind of shit.
But you know, with that signal thing, because I saw a couple of different videos on it. The guy said if it doesn't happen on the 4th, they got a backup date on the 10th. I believe that they're gonna do that, but I think they're gonna do it without warning. They're gonna catch when they do it. They're gonna catch everybody completely off guard. You know. So that because that message went out over every social media platform.
Yeah, sure did.
Once again, like I said, they're gonna have to get rid of social media because that's how people are doing stuff. Right now, they're keeping it in order because Esau's using it to his advantage, especially for all the playing chaos. You know, like all these smash and grabs and all that stuff. All right, that's all orchestrated COINTELPRO. You know, whatever.
Right. Yeah, that nigga always tells before he does something.
So I believe that they're gonna do that, but I don't think they're gonna do it on those dates. I'll be shocked if they do it on the dates that they said they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people probably are really gonna turn their phones off for an hour or two.
Yeah, that's a pump fake.
Yep.
And so it's a straight pump fake. And a lot of people gonna get their ankles broken. Because they gonna jump, the dude gonna run around and do a layup.
Turning your phone off wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
It's too much Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi everywhere. You can be outside, just regular outside by nobody's house, check your shit, and you got Xfinity Wi-Fi.
Everywhere.
Chicago was always supposed to, a long time, years ago, this was like 15 years ago maybe, Chicago was supposed to be set up where you can get Wi-Fi anywhere, but there's no profit in that. But if you get an Xfinity, you can get Wi-Fi anywhere basically.
Yeah, well,
So you ain't running, and Xfinity got 5G internet.
So ain't no running. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, man. The Lord is with you or he's not, man.
Facts.
That's what it comes down to.
Do you remember that
Can we play
video?
that clip still?
Oh, sorry.
The deacon vocab.
Oh yeah, we ain't played it.
I read that video.
Yeah, let's play it, you know.
That right there.
This right here?
Yeah, that right there.
Hakab Sakari thinks he stands in judgment over Paul. Look at these messages back and forth. Is Paul valid? Does he have authority over the 12? Should we use his teachings today? Prove his writings are God-breathed and prove they are relevant to today's time. Prove his authority. He wants to debate, is Paul on trial? Look at that. His general teachings, his views of the church and doctrine. To be honest about the debate, I think certain topics you guys have stalemate because Paul seems to contradict himself. He says he has a list of 82 times Paul's irreconcilable.
I got 82 verses. We just went over this in Chicago Varsity. I got 82 verses for a Hebrew Israelite, specifically for a Hebrew Israelite. I got 82 verses that we can go through, and I would like from Paul, and I would like you to explain all of them. I got 82 shots.
Hey, that's a fucking demonic ass, demon ass.
If somebody want to hit with me,
that's why the Most High can destroy you.
I'll give you a chance.
That's that jail doctrine.
Well, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna take him up on that challenge, man. We're gonna find out, what these 82 verses are. If he got them, and then
You know what?
do a lesson on them.
You know what? I think they. I'm just saying, my man, they took a bag, man.
Of course they did.
That's why he played it.
That's the point why he playing it, because Alazar wants to keep his long hair. They want to wear the hats and the fitted hats. They want to do. They want to be in the right. They want to build and stay on this side, man.
Who when they on the podcast recently, like somebody famous shit?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Like no jump or something.
They kicking
They
it.
was Whack 100 and shit.
And they hanging out with the celebrities and shit. That's the same thing that Chase Blunt was doing.
Hey, Paul writings are part of us coming back into YAHAWASHI, being good grace, giving grace from Yahweh through YAHAWASHI.
Yeah, he's
I
a
mean, just
apostle to the Gentiles.
oxymoron, man. Can I bring this out, please?
All right, you brothers got two scriptures. Go ahead, brother.
This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 37
Oh.
by Paul. If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord.
Perfect.
It was on No Jumper.
It was no jumper.
Yeah.
Oh, with the cuck. Oh,
Yeah.
Ain't that the cuck page?
Yeah.
Didn't you just play Jason Love to fuck your girlfriend? Shut up, monkey.
Yeah, he was on that with one of his
Yeah, bring out your.
No jumper.
Was that to do with Adam?
Yeah, that's his show. That's what I'm saying.
Or
That's
Adam on the channel.
Adam's show.
He got other dudes do interviews. Yeah.
This is Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 4. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord Yahweh. Right, because these other camps are not preparing Jake for what's really to come. Instead, they're actually destroying, well, trying to anyway, the true narrative. With that type of madness. So the people don't actually, so the women aren't in order. They got every excuse for a woman not to wear a head wrap.
That's
and
right.
everything that Paul is saying is off. But according to the scriptures, you're off. From the Old Testament and the New.
Right. The woman's walking around unwrapped, and they walking around with hats on.
Yeah, there it is.
And this nigga Alazar got hair down to the middle of his damn back.
Yeah.
That's okay when he gets snatched by them troopers and beat his face and choked out. He couldn't get away because his hair was down the middle of his back.
They gonna do his ass like Nino Brown did that Italian nigga.
That's it.
Collard green eating linguine, motherfucker. Don't give me one of them collard green linguines.
Go ahead, bring it out, brother. You got some more? Somebody hold. We gonna close after this. Get that 2nd Ezra 16:73.
Skipping down to verse 8. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord God, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies, therefore behold, I am against you, saith the Lord God. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and the divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel. Neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
Damn. So they're not gonna enter into the land of
They
Israel.
gotta be born into it.
So these guys and you know those three camps that we talking about, man, they gonna mess around and be nutsack Israelites.
There it is.
All right, that's exactly what they're gonna. They're gonna mess around and be nutsack Israelites. You're gonna have to come back through sex, and that's just what it is, man.
After all the pain
elect
that's
gonna
go
skeet
through.
your monkey ass out. Who got it?
2nd Ezra 16 and 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Nobody's being tried like the men of the great millstone.
That's right.
And nobody's doing the work. Unlike you know, Mr. General Nathaniel, you know, Ben, all right, Edomite way, Mr. Ben Israel.
Ben,
all right?
Ben Yisrael.
You know, unlike he said, no, you know, the true men of the Lord are the men of the great millstone and the brothers that teach the likewise doctrine, man. They go out in the highways and byways. You got thousands of men. You got 500 man marches. What these men videos? Your men are not built up. You only have certain people that you allow to speak and they can speak. All right, and then you know there was a video surfacing. It just surfaced. Kazak was on his way to work and rolled up on some of the IUIC, and they started screaming and calling him a rapist. After your leaders have already admitted that they lied about that and apologized for it, but yet your
so
men are
wicked,
still,
man.
you know, so it's
Like,
like,
why would you even do that though? Like,
what's the purpose in that? You know,
that's a bitch ass
so
niggas,
it's
man.
exactly what they are, some bitch ass false prophets, man. Hey, so with that, we're gonna give all praises, all glory and honor unto you.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakabadash.
That's some soft ass shit, man. That happened to the brother.
I'd rather be the rapist.